I'm Stephanie Kauffman, and I'm proud to serve as the Chief Executive Officer for the Melanoma Research Alliance. Yeah, absolutely. My career has really been around bringing different sectors together in different ways to solve problems and to make an impact. The first half of my career, I spent, over 16 years in the private sector with Universal Studios, which is the motion pictures, home entertainment, and theme park group. And I really worked there running their global alliances group. And it was all about bringing together brands and different companies who are looking for different ways to engage with consumers and sharing with them how our films could create a different cultural conversation, whether that's through product placement or marketing, or certainly within our theme parks, and creating an opportunity for those brands to engage a new consumer audience in a much different way than, say, traditional advertising. And I brought that experience over to the nonprofit space well over a decade ago, first and really running leadership roles at the Breast Cancer Research Foundation as well as AmeriCares. And I think what really drew me to the Melanoma Research Alliance is really taking pieces of those experiences from Hollywood into cancer research and medicine security, and was also how do I bring all of those experiences together really around science. And I think that's what was really exciting when I was able to first step into the Melanoma Research Alliance, first as its President Chief Operating Officer and today as its CEO. And I think what's really wonderful and amazing about MRA is that we sit at this really fantastic intersection of great scientists, clinicians, researchers, industry partners, and pharmaceutical and biotech, as well as some, phenomenal partnerships that we work with on the government side of things with, National Institute of Health, the American Academy of Dermatology, as well as the Federal Drug Administration, all of us really being in service to a very important partner to us, and that's the patients. And then how can we bring, private philanthropic capital to kind of lift all of that up to solve a huge problem, which in our case is melanoma. And I think, for me, it's all about how can we accelerate all of those partnerships in such a way that can help benefit and change the outlook for patients who have been impacted by melanoma. And I think, melanoma is such an incredible example of what we can accomplish and what research can accomplish. I mean, we've seen the outlook for advanced melanoma really transforming the pace of scientific discovery, not just in melanoma, but oncology at large. And I think the ability to be a part of this extraordinary opportunity, this organization, and then be able to lead it into its next era is just hugely inspiring to me. And I'm really phenomenally grateful for the opportunity to do so. Well, I think, as we talk about a little bit of my background, right, prior to stepping the space, in Hollywood, and Hollywood always taught me the power of storytelling. And I think we have such a tremendous story to continue to tell. And I think one of the things that really excites me is that we are entering a new era from a position of tremendous strength and the ability to tell that story. We are approaching our 20th year of impact. And, so we were founded in 2007. And over those 20 years, we've invested a fairly modest but amount when you think about it stacked against other, investments in cancer research. But we've invested, I'm very proud to invest over $200 million in melanoma research. We've supported 550 plus projects around the world. And I think what's been really exciting in this first kind of chapter of MRA's history is we really did help and we've helped bring about a research ecosystem that really did not exist prior to us being founded in 2007. It was very fragmented. It was an area that was scientifically neglected. You did not see a lot of interest in terms of cancer researchers specifically wanting to go into melanoma because there was only maybe two treatment options. There wasn't a lot on the horizon. And I think, what's really exciting is what we've been able to accomplish in these last 20 years. But when we think about anniversaries and milestones, while it's definitely a great opportunity to look back, in my mind, it's the right opportunity to look forward. And I think what we continue to see in melanoma research, it's the launch pad of most innovations that we've seen in oncology over these last 2 decades. There are now 20 approved FDA treatments for melanoma patients. That's kind of unheard of in oncology. And I think, what's been really exciting is obviously the progress in creating the fourth standard of care in cancer research, which is immunotherapy, in addition to all the targeted therapies. But I think the question for all of us is we've got 20 of these amazing new therapies that have been approved. There's more certainly in the pipeline, but how do we become more precise? Like we need to still answer the questions like, why do some patients respond to the therapies that are available and why patients do not? So while we've had tremendous progress, unfortunately, 50% of patients who have advanced melanomas still don't respond to what's in the marketplace for treatments. How does treatment resistance develop? So then we'll have patients who've been on a particular treatment protocol, they're doing really, really well, and for some reason they stop responding to that treatment. I think also what more can we be doing, particularly with the dermatology community on early detection and addressing some of the key gaps there. And I also think for us in the rare melanoma space, so melanomas that are not caused by UV exposure. So uveal melanoma, melanoma of the eye, acral melanoma, melanomas on the palms of your hands, soles of your feet, mucosal melanoma, which is in the mucous membranes of your body. How do we need to continue to unravel the biology of something that's not there? So I would tell you, for us, the next era of melanoma research is upon us, and I'm excited to see what we can do because we've been that launch pad, and I'm really thankful that our team here can be a part of accelerating that.